1, 2, 3, and...
Hello, I'm Titus Pollard.
And I'm Kristin, Morocco.
We're going to discuss Chapter 4 from the North House book,
which is the behavioral approach.
Within Chapter 4, we deal with two basic types of behaviors, the first being relationship behaviors.
And that examines how the leader ensures their followers are comfortable with themselves, each other, and the situation.
And the second behavior is task behaviors.
And this is where the leader helps to facilitate goal accomplishment, and they help their group members to achieve their objectives.
And what Kristin and I have both learned is that it takes both of these behaviors to make an optimal leader. It takes relationship behaviors
and task behaviors
to achieve the goal.
There have been a variety of studies that look at the behavioral approach to leadership.
But there are three that's agreed upon that deal with the behavioral and task approach and have been categorized under those headings. They are the Ohio State study, the Michigan study, and the Blake and Moten.
The Ohio State study examined the relationship behaviors as well as the task behaviors. However, in this study, relationship behaviors were defined as consideration and task behaviors were defined as initiating structure.
And within this study, the Ohio State study, they said that consideration and initiating structure were not one continuum that operated, but two different continua. Whereas the leader may have high in initiating structure, but low in relationship behaviors.
Or they may be high in relationship behaviors and consideration, or low in initiating structure. Another major study done examining these behaviors was the Michigan study, and here we looked at how relationship behaviors and task behaviors once again. However, here task behaviors were just defined as production orientation and relationship behaviors were defined as employee orientation.
What made the Michigan study different from the Ohio study was that in production and orientation, and employee orientation sat on the same continuum, but as they continued the studies over time, they found that while they sat on the same continuum, a leader may be low in production orientation and high in employee orientation. In other words, one may be high in one, low in the other, or high and low in both.
The most widely used study was the Blake and Moten study, and here we looked at task behavior and relationship behaviors. However, here task behaviors was defined as concern for production, and relationship behaviors was defined as concern for people.
In the Blake and Moten study, it was found by the researchers that there were several strengths and criticisms. Some of the strengths is that they expanded previous research to include what leaders did and how they acted.
It is also something that is widely studied, as shown through the various studies that we took you through with Michigan and Ohio State and the Blake and Moten.
Also, as with the Ohio and the Michigan study, they were also task and relationship behaviors. In addition, it was heuristic, where they learned the complexities of leadership. In addition to its strengths, there were several criticisms.
One of the first major criticisms was that it was not universal.
In other words, they were unable to identify a universal behavior that's associated with effective leadership.
Additionally, they were having a hard time finding links and correlations between your task and behaviors and the outcome. For example, you could be high in relationships, however, that did not necessarily mean you had strong morale, productivity, and job satisfaction.
Also, in the study, it took into consideration that some leadership at times has to be situational. Sometimes the leader has to reflect more on and act more on relationship behaviors or task behaviors.
One, two, three.